If you could tell us who you are, that'd be fantastic.
I'm Naomi Long. I'm mom to Hayden Long. And
How old's Hayden?
Hayden is 11. He's nonverbal.
He's nonverbal. Okay, and you are?
I'm Haley Long.
And I'm also her mom.
And how old are you, Haley?
I'm going to be 13 next month.
You're going to be 13, okay. Alright, so if you guys can maybe shimmy all up a little bit.
Squish each other.
Tell us the story.
Well, Hayden was adopted at birth. I was there at his birth, and when he was born, he was like, you know, every child, like, just normal, you know. And he grew, and at 15 months, he was talking. This one liked to talk a lot, so
he was talking.
He was talking. He was verbal.
You're older, aren't you? So do you remember your little brother?
Yeah, I used to have a little book that had Dora on it, and I'd point to the characters, and he'd say, Dora, boots, backpack.
He talked early.
Wow.
Yes.
And now he's nonverbal.
He's nonverbal, has no
That's
words.
a big crime.
Yes.
That's a big crime.
Yeah, he lost all of his language almost overnight. It was pretty much, he was not the same child when he woke up. So at 15 months, because he was being adopted, even though I was there at his birth, they told me I couldn't finalize his adoption unless he was had his vaccines, and I was against them already. So I had cried many, many tears for this one when I adopted her. They're biologically related from the same family, and so I knew I had to do it with him, and so we went in, and he.
What age did you say?
He was 15 months.
15 months.
Every vaccine I noticed that he had received, even from infant, he had stomach issues. And they got worse every time he got vaccinated. And I kept saying, look, he's sick, he doesn't need vaccines. And they said, well, we can't finalize until he's done. So we continued going. And so at 15 months we went in, he got the MMR, I believe another DTaP, and a couple others. And he was kind of, you know, fussy a little bit. And, we went to bed, and then the next morning he wasn't looking at me. He didn't care about anything. He stopped grunting at me. He stopped interacting with me. He stopped talking. He had learned how to toddle around the house and was, like, you know, using everything to toddle around with, but he even stopped that. So he'd just sit there on the floor looking at one toy. A propeller would spin, and he knew where all the lights were, and he'd just reach forward and push a button to get the lights to come on, and that's it.
Okay, so now what happened when you took him back to the doctors and said, we got a problem?
I called them the next morning and I said, my son is acting very different. He's not looking at me. He's not responding to me. He's just kind of like, he's gone in his own world. This is not normal. I knew about autism. I worked with children with special needs when I was younger, so I was very aware of things. And I said, I don't think he's doing okay. I said, something's wrong. They said, well, you could bring him in, but, you know, it's probably just he's tired from the vaccine. And I was like, oh, I'm going to bring him into you. And so when I went into the office, I said, you need to fix him. Something is wrong. You need to fix him. And they're like, oh, no, he's just tired. He'll be fine. And
he's just tired.
Just tired. He'll be fine. And I said, I have a daughter. She's only a year older than him. I mean, you know, there's got, you know, I've seen what vaccines can do, what can't, you know, and this is not normal, you know. And they just kind of kept putting me off. And so then I was like, I stopped. Then that was it for vaccines. I was like, okay, I'm finalizing, the paperwork's done.
So when you mentioned these vaccines about my boy, what's the response?
They just said, oh, no, it's not the vaccine. It's not the vaccine. He's just tired, you know. And I kept going back to the doctor's office and saying, you know, he stopped walking. He's not interested in even walking. He's not interested in looking at me. He doesn't care what I'm doing. And this is a child who would, you know, try to get to me if I walked out of the room. And he's now...
As his mother described to the CDC what they have taken away from your son, what these vaccines have taken.
They took away his voice, his childhood, everything. They've taken away everything. He can't talk, he can't communicate. He stims a lot. I mean, you know, he can't be who he should be.
having my little brother. So like it wants to be my little.
He cries when she cries.
I love you and I hope you know that.
They should be best friends, you know? They're only 14 months apart. Instead, she's had to grow up faster to help him. And to help interact with him.
Good morning.
I remember when we were little, we used to play. He used to think it was funny when I always had this little bucket and I put it on his head and he would laugh and he'd bounce around, but he can't do that anymore. He doesn't like anything. And, I mean, he tries to interact with me, but it's really hard.
We know how hard it is for you siblings because you go through so much pain. You go through the pain of your brother's suffering and your mother's too. It's a very. We want you to know that we do know how hard you like it, and we're so sorry that this has happened to you. And there are lots of siblings in the same situation as you. We need to get you in contact with them, okay? What has happened to your brother is not okay. It should never have happened. And someone is going to pay for this. And that's why we're on this bus. Right? We're going to sort it out. And then once we sort it out, we're going to come back and we're going to scoop all these kids that have been hurt like him up and we're going to build really lovely lives for them. There's a lot of work to do. Alright?
Good morning, Rocket.
Oh dear. Emotion. This beautiful boy. You're a beautiful family.
Thank you. He's happy.
Hayden, say hi.
I'm very thankful that he's happy.
Say hi.
He's trying to talk.
Is there anything that you would like to say?
For the parents who are coming into this and just know you're not alone. You're not ever alone. We're always here to reach out to, you know. We've been at this for a while and can give pointers and seek us out because, you know, you're not alone. And
They're giving you lots of parts, so you know, I want you to see this, especially you. My heart's see that? That's how much people love you. You know how much you're loved. They're showing you. That's how much they love you. And these are people around the world. This is England and Australia and all sorts of different places saying they get it, they understand it because they're living with it. And we're one big family and we're going to sort this out.
Yeah.
Okay, all of us collectively. I promise. Alright, let's see all those hearts still coming in for you. Turn this around. Look, still coming in. Turn this around. We're going to have a big group hug. We're going to have some photographs. And you should play this back so you can see how much the love and hearts are still coming in.
certainly.
Alright? Stick in my hand.
It's
It's okay. I've got Billy, remember.
Yeah.
I get it. Alright guys, Periscope. Wow, emotional day. Love and hugs. We'll get back to you in a minute. We've got another story.